Senator David Gowan here. Welcome to another Gavel In with Gowan. This episode will be a session wrap-up. You may also notice that I am not in my office like I generally am when we film my videos. I'm here at my desk on the Senate floor where I vote on legislation that affects all of Arizona and the laws of our great state. So in today's wrap-up, let's discuss the budget, some bills that have been signed into law that I am very proud of, and a few other topics. So keep watching to learn more. But first, I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend celebrating our country's 246th year of independence. It's great to be an American. Last week, I mentioned some of the great investments that will benefit Southern Arizona tremendously. Now, let's elaborate on that. The legislature approved $400 million in state general fund money to build a third lane on each side for a 26-mile stretch of Interstate 10 south of Phoenix. The highway portion is a final two-lane length of I-10 between Phoenix and Tucson. This has caused traffic delays between Chandler and Casa Grande, limiting trade and impacting commuters traveling the stretch between Tucson and Phoenix and Pinal County. In addition to this new stretch, we'll be expanding an existing HOV lane by several miles. The project will enhance multiple bridges and interchanges, replace an existing bridge over the Gila River, and improve a frontage road, and make other safety improvements for safe travel to and from these metro areas. According to the Arizona Department of Transportation, the overall cost of the project is anticipated to be $990 million. Prior to the $400 million general fund appropriation, the project had already received $290 million in state, federal, and Maricopa County funds. Now, ADOT will seek a $300 million grant from federal infrastructure dollars. This will help residents in Southern Arizona tremendously and will support the growing number of people moving to our great state. Now, let's talk about some of the bills. Thanks to a lack of attention from the Biden administration to prevent criminals from illegally entering Arizona, we've seen the overwhelming danger this possesses to residents living down south and around the state, especially in my district of LD 14. Senate Bill 1709 will establish the Anti-Human Trafficking Grant Fund, which would appropriate $10 million to fight human trafficking, and it will go through the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. In addition, Senate Bill 1718 will appropriate another $1 million in full-time positions to the Border Security Fund, which will help support efforts to prevent narcotics, contraband, and terrorists entering our state. An unthinkable amount of fentanyl and fentanyl-related substances are coming across our border. Under President Biden's watch, more pounds of fentanyl were seized at the southern border in FY 2021 than in the previous 2 years combined. As all of you know, I have the utmost respect for our veterans. We live in the greatest country in the world because of them, and I do my best to pass legislation that will benefit them and their families. A bill I ran, Senate Bill 1406, describes rights and protections for a student attending an Arizona public university, community college, or private university who is ordered or whose spouse is ordered to state or Federal Reserve component duty with the United States military. Also, I ran a bill that will appropriate $5 million to the University of Arizona to upgrade and operate the Arizona Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory. The lab is located in Tucson, Arizona. The lab provides diagnostic assistance in animal health to veterinarians, animal owners, university researchers, and state and federal agencies. The lab works closely with the Office of the State Veterinarian, U.S. Department of Agriculture, Arizona Game and Fish Department, and other state and federal agencies. It serves as a diverse client base with submissions of wild animals, exotic zoo animals, pet animals, horses, and food-producing animals themselves. Senate Bill 1403 was another bill that was very significant to me since it solved a problem that one of my constituents had. I vowed to always represent LD 14 here at the Capitol, and I want to keep that promise. This bill outlines reporting requirements related to when an insurance carrier or a self-insured employer receives written notification of injury from an employee who is injured and intends to file a claim for compensation. This bill will clear up any confusion and will be beneficial to any worker who may be injured on the job. I also want to call attention to my anti-Semitism measure. This bill requires the Department of Public Safety to gather information for the Central State Repository on criminal offenses that show signs of anti-Semitism prejudice. Hatred toward our Jewish brothers and sisters in Arizona will not be tolerated. Now, focusing on the great outdoors. You might not realize this, but all across Arizona, near hiking trails and recreational areas, there are approximately 200,000 abandoned mines that pose a huge risk to residents. Senate Bill 1717 will appropriate about $1 million to pay for staff to support the state mine inspector in closing these mines and keeping the public safe when using the outdoors. And lastly, and most importantly, I am supporting the decision by the Supreme Court of the United States to overturn Roe v. Wade, relinquishing power to the states to protect the lives of vulnerable children and expected mothers. This is a monumental decision for our nation and for babies. We are finally celebrating the end of an era where the life of a child in the womb could be taken up to the moment of birth for any reason deemed right by the mother. Finally, justice is served for all those babies that never had the chance to live. Now, rightfully so, the states will now decide how best to govern their citizens and not an overreaching federal government. We are praising the good Lord and thanking SCOTUS for their courage in the face of incredible and physical and political threat. I will continue to fight for the sanctity of life, the rule of law, morals, and family values. While we are out of session, I will be doing videos every other week and will return to doing weekly updates once session starts again in January of 2023. I will see you again soon. Till then, I'm gaveling out. God bless you.